here's Brody Brazil.
I wanted to share something I found on Twitter the other day and then expand on it. This comes from an account called Potato Maps. It's Kate, who likes potatoes and does a lot of fun stuff with maps. And in this case, the caption said, "You've heard of the Rust Belt and the Bible Belt, now introducing the Hockey Belt. This map shows where every North American NHL player is from." And it's so simple to see, like that is the biggest quantity of NHL players across North America, which is also an interesting contrast. When you kind of look here at the shape, that's awful drawing, by the way, of the United States, you can see that so much of it right here, I'll do it in yellow, so much of it right here is right near the northern border. There's a little bit around the Great Lakes. There's some spots in Southern California. That's Denver, that's Salt Lake City. I think that's St. Louis right there. There are some other spots, but generally speaking, my goodness, that is the area right there which produces the most NHL players from North America. And we should also step back for just a second and take a look at the breakdown of NHL players in 2024, where they come from. Canada plus the United States, we're looking at, about 500? 501, 295, and 206 between Canada and the States. That's 41.7% plus 29.1% of NHL players in 2024. A handful have always come from Sweden. There's some from Russia, 9 and 5%. Finland also checking in at about 5%. 23 from the Czech, 10 from Switzerland, 8 from Germany, 6 from Slovakia, and I think there's a couple other countries that have 1 or 2 or several players. But for the most part, this is the breakdown of where players come from across the globe. So you understand that like North America is a big producer of NHL talent here in 2024 and beyond. And that's changing drastically, but right now, a lot coming from North America. Now, I think every market in Canada is a traditional hockey market, right? There's no such thing as a non-traditional hockey market north of the border. But here in the United States, I mean, there are a lot of places that are non-traditional hockey markets. Where I'm from, in the Bay Area. Sorry, you know what? Let me do that in green. San Jose, you've got LA and Anaheim down there. I think, Phoenix, where there used to be a team. I think all of Texas, all of Florida. So many spots that are not traditional hockey markets. But the real thing I want to point out here is where the population density is, specifically in the United States. There's a lot of spots here that you can see not depicted, and I think Seattle was kind of in there. We'll go over the map. We'll go over the map side by side in just a second. My point is, it's obvious. Like all of this area up here, this is the hockey belt. There's no question about that. And yeah, it extends obviously into Canada, but that's where the hockey belt is up there. The question is, how do you capture more of these markets, some of these areas, and incorporate that into the bigger hockey belt? How do you, as the NHL, whether it's attracting fans or getting more people interested in hockey or playing hockey, how do you capitalize outside of this hockey belt? So let's just do it. Let's put them side by side here, and you can see where this hockey belt is. And I'm probably going to be wrong in drawing the border like, I don't know, right here somewhere? Is it in right there? That's also, you know what? I'm going to undo that. I now have an undo button. Maybe I'll do it in purple if you can see that better. That doesn't contrast either. How about, I should have done it in green. How about teal? Is that any better? The border's somewhere there. So you have so many hockey players coming from just south and just north of the border right there. But look at all of this rest of the United States, for example. And there is California, and there is Texas, and there is Florida. And you can see some dots, but it is nowhere near the intensity of, look at right there surrounding the Great Lakes. Once again, I should have done it in green. Right there surrounding the Great Lakes, or the Northeast region. Or obviously this is like Edmonton and Saskatchewan and Manitoba all the way out here. So that's what all that fire is. There's BC, Vancouver. So there's all this untapped market in the United States, and there's a lot of people here, pretty much all of that right there. And it also kind of makes you wonder, as the NHL considers expansion. Oh, let's go down that rabbit hole for just a second. Houston, right? So you're in the state of Texas. Oh man, I keep picking the worst colors to contrast off here. Houston. right? Maybe a potential expansion franchise there. They've talked about, well, I should have drawn that up a little higher, Atlanta, right? So now it makes sense of, they want to stay outside of that hockey belt if they truly want to grow the game. So look, I found this interesting. Most importantly, I just wanted to find a way to use the telestrator when I could. And that's the end of this video. The hockey belts. Really want to thank Potato Maps on Twitter for providing me with the idea and inspiration of making this video. I just found it interesting. I thought you would too. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. How can hockey grow outside of its current hockey belt? How can it make more traditional hockey markets? And yeah, the geography's part of it, the climate's part of it. Does it snow or not? But how can hockey expand comfortably outside of its hockey belt to produce more NHL players like an Austin Matthews from Arizona and the Bay Area in the future so that it doesn't have to rely on just that tiny hockey belt? Let me know in the comment section below. By the way, you've also made it here to the end of this video. I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. That'll greatly help me, this video, and this channel. And if you've never seen me before, that's actually a good thing. I'm glad you found me, but make sure you come back next time. The way to do that is to go down there right now before this video ends, hit the subscribe button, because I would love to do this all over again with you next time.